Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. Ready or not, let's do this. This is a ridiculously early morning webinar to get your day started off right, whether you're ready for it or not. There's a little bit of mindset, a little bit of business sense, something for your MLM, network marketing, small business, brick and mortar, online and off, to get it up and running like a well-oiled machine. Whether you are a newbie, a seasoned veteran, or somewhere in between, there's something here for you. Welcome. My name is Mina. I'm coming to you from New York City, out in the borough of Queens. I created this ridiculously early morning webinar to push myself out of my comfort zone, share with you my experiences as I continue to grow my business online, as well as some great content that I always discover along the way, with the hopes of inspiring you to do the same. Let's grow into success together. So today is Thursday. Happy Thursday. It is February 19th. Time does fly pretty quickly. And if you're out here in the Northeast, it's pretty cold. Today is supposed to be really, really cold. I heard it's going to feel like -20. I don't know. There is a wind chill advisory. Funny fact, or interesting fact, my home office is right in front of the living room window. And on the living room window, we have an air conditioner. And while it's all sealed and sealed up for the winter, the cold air still kind of seeps through. So I feel the cold, and I have like a blanket on my lap so I don't feel the cold. But there is also a heater right beneath the window, so when it pumps out heat, I'm a happy person. But anyways, this webinar has two portions. It always has a mindset portion and a business sense portion. And now we're going to start with the mindset portion. And I've been listening to Les Brown lately. Do you know about Les Brown? Les Brown is a motivational speaker, and he's a very powerful motivational speaker. And I'm going to share with you some tidbits I've learned from one of his talks that I heard this week. I've listened to it multiple times, and it's all about getting unstuck. And I'm going to share with you three suggestions to help you to get unstuck. He has more in that talk, and I will leave a link to that below in the description. But I'm going to share with you three of them to get you started getting unstuck. Now, what is the definition of being stuck? Well, perhaps you're stuck in a job and you're not happy with the job, or you're stuck in a relationship that you're not happy about, or you're stuck and you don't know what you want to do with your life. You have no idea. You're just going through life day in and day out, and you feel you don't have a purpose, or you have a dream and you don't know the best way to go about doing it. You don't know how to move forward, so you're stuck. And Les Brown gives a lot of different examples in his talk about being stuck. He talks about a best friend of his who was married to the love of his life, but unfortunately she did not feel the same way about him, and she wanted a divorce. And he was a deeply religious man, and he did not believe in divorce. And unfortunately, he stayed too long in the marriage before he realized, yeah, I have to get a divorce. And the sad thing was that he was burnt by that relationship. And he was, in essence, he was stuck on revenge because, the first marriage didn't work out. And so he brought that thought, that stuckness he had into the other relationship. So every time the relationship started to blossom and flower, he would do something to stop it in its track, to not make it work, because he was stuck on the idea that the relationships never work and he would never have a loving relationship ever again. He was stuck. That is one example. There was another example that he gave, another sad example where he was a state legislature. He was a state legislator in Ohio. That's what Les Brown used to do. And he said during the lunch hour, he would go out and they would sit on the lawn and they would see this person known as, we'll call him a character known as the Chicken Man. And he would wear a feather in his hat, and he would drive his car, and he would have a chicken on top of his car. And when he would walk around the neighborhood, he would have a carriage with 2 dolls and a picture of a woman. And every time you spoke to him, he made the sounds of a chicken. And people would make fun of him because they thought he was quite a character and he was probably nuts. but they didn't know his story. They didn't know why he was stuck in that. And the story of this gentleman was that one morning at 3 a.m. he woke up and his house was on fire, and he panicked, and he got out of the window as quickly as he could. But when he came to and he realized his wife and his children, his 2 children, were screaming inside. So he tried to get back inside of the house to rescue them. And he could not. He could not, because the flames were too hot. And as much as he tried to, he could not get back into the house to rescue his wife and his 2 kids. And eventually their screams died down because they perished in the flames. And then his brother-in-law came and saw what happened. And his brother-in-law got so upset, and he started to beat on this man and said, "You are a chicken. You're a chicken. Why didn't you save my sister and my nieces? You're a chicken." And so when the people finally pulled his brother-in-law off him and they said, "Are you okay?" He's just started to make the sounds of a chicken. And that is a very sad story of being stuck, because he never lived down that tragedy of being unable to save his wife and 2 kids in the fire. And he was stuck in that tragedy that he just became the chicken man. So those are 2 examples of being stuck in one thing and never getting out of that experience or that situation or that thing in your past. So if you are stuck in your past, if something happened to you which has you stuck, I'm going to share with you 3 tips that Les mentioned in his talk. And mind you, there are much more there, but I'm going to share with you, for the sake of time, 3 tips to help you move forward and start you getting out of being stuck. So the first one is to assess yourself, okay? Assess the situation. What brought you here? Why are you in this situation? Why are you stuck here? It could be that you were fired from a job that you thought you were going to retire in. You thought it was ultimately unfair that you were fired from that job, your job. Now, assess the situation. Okay. Job is a job, and I've come to realize this job is a job. It's not your job. You are privileged to have that job so that you can pay your bills and you can feed your family and take a vacation every now and then, but it's not ultimately your job. You have to take into account that eventually the company may not need you anymore and they will terminate you and let you go. Think about this. It's not you. It's not about you. You could be doing the best thing you can be doing, or you're doing the best you can, and maybe you're not a fit for that place. Maybe you're fit for something better, because you have greatness in you. It just has to come out of you. And perhaps that you were let go from that job is meant to be because you were meant to do something greater and better. So assess the situation you are in. What brought you here? If you're going through a rough patch, are you learning from it? And I like this question that Les Brown asks. He says, are you going through it, or are you growing from it? You could be going through a situation and just winging it, or you could be continually assessing your situation and figuring out how you can grow from it. All right? Are you learning from it? Because life isn't fair. It just is. So think about that when you're going through a rough patch. How can you grow from this situation? What can I learn from this? Okay? I learned from when I was being terminated from my job that I had to know how to respond better to situations. I was very reactive. I thought that, I had the same thought where everybody thinks when they are losing their job that, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Oh my gosh, pretty much what everybody thinks when they are being terminated from their job. It's not a happy moment. It's not a happy moment to be in. But now when you face challenges, when I face challenges, I think much differently. Okay, how can I better this situation? Or this is not going good. What can I do to better it? Or what can I learn from it? All right. Always assess your situation. What brought you here? How can you learn from it? How can you grow from that situation? Number 2 is to forgive and grow. Okay. If you're holding grudges against people, in order to step into your greatness, you need to let go of that past baggage. So if somebody upset you, or somebody hurt you, or somebody stole from you, you got to forgive them and move forward. okay? Les Brown speaks of an experience that he had where he bought a house for his mother, for his adoptive mother. And he failed to do a title search to see if there was leads on that house. And he just trusted the person who was selling him the house that there were no leads on this house. And the person lied to him. And because about a couple of weeks after he bought the house and his mother was in the house, he received a letter that the house was being put up for sale by the owner because he was owed $12,000. And as much as he tried to reason with the owner to give him some time, the owner says, no, if you don't give me my $12,000 in 30 days, I'm putting the house up for sale. So Les Brown had a lot of anger against the person who sold him the house, who actually lied to him. And he held on to the anger for a long time. But he eventually learned that he had to just forgive and move forward, and he had a lot of help from his mother, who said, you know what, because he felt bad about that situation. He really felt bad. And his mother said, no, hold up your head. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Okay. You take what you learn from this experience and you know what to do forward, but also don't hold grudges against people. Okay. Because it's like, I think what it is, I don't remember. I don't know if this is related to it, but it's kind of like holding a grudge is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. I don't know if that's the right analogy of it, but don't hold grudges against people because they'll be out there living their life and being happy about it, and you are being upset and sad, and you're just poisoning yourself with that anger that you have. So it's better to forgive and grow, okay? Let's see. Let go and focus on developing yourself. So if you are going through a rough patch, I really encourage you to listen to Les Brown. He's a great motivational speaker, and he will help you in moving forward, in growing and developing yourself. The third thing you need to do to get unstuck is to activate the thinker in you, is to discipline your emotions. Now, there's a difference between reactive and responsive behavior. If you react to a situation, you're letting your emotions control you. You're letting the situation control you. But if you're responsive to a situation, you are taking control of the situation. You are, in essence, disciplining your emotions. So if you want to move into your own personal greatness, say to yourself this: in spite of this, in spite of the situation that I'm going through, in spite of everything going out of control, I am in control here. I'm in control of the situation. This is just a phase. The best is yet to come, okay? So if you're facing a challenge, and this is what Les Brown suggests, don't stop. Keep moving. Don't get stuck. Don't let that challenge stop you. Stay busy. Stay busy doing good things, productive things, listening to personal development, listening to Les Brown, listening to John Maxwell, Anthony Robbins, people and leaders who are injecting positivity and good stuff into you. Help somebody. When you help somebody, you take the focus off yourself and you focus on helping others. And when you focus on helping others, that good stuff is going to come back to you. Help yourself. Help yourself grow. And as I mentioned before, listen to some great personal development. What you give is what you get. And that is what Zig Ziglar says. So if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. Awesome sauce. So that is the mindset portion of this hangout. And now I'm going to share with you a business sense portion, something that can help your business grow your business online. Now, there's a lot of social media that you can take advantage of, like Facebook, like Twitter, like Instagram, LinkedIn, Google+. I suggest to start with one thing and master it. And then when you master that, go on to the next. Now, what I want to share with you today has to do with Twitter. And I found this great article on entrepreneur.com. And I'm going to do a screen share so we can see the 10 points to make your Twitter even better. Okay, so 10 tips for mastering Twitter. I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, here goes. Share. All right, present to everybody. I'm going to go and I'm sharing my screen. Okay, 10 tips for mastering Twitter, which is a great article that I found on entrepreneur.com. And the cool thing is, if you're on Twitter or you're familiar with Twitter, people are always tweeting really cool things. And what this person suggests to master Twitter and to make your feed a little bit more engaging is to not just tweet headlines and links. A lot of people do that. They tweet links, they tweet headlines, but you want to make it interesting so that people are more attracted to your feed. What he says here is to mix it up. Tweet quotes, questions or snippets, or of interesting details or numbers. Anything your followers would want to click on and interact with. So I'm going to show you how you can do that here. I'm going to show you a great article that I just found here. The Best Butter Knife Ever and 9 Other Brilliant Designs by the Washington Post. And you can see here that they have all the buttons here that you can share on your social media. So I'm going to look through here, and that is a pretty awesome knife, an awesome butter knife. But I'm not going to use the Best Butter Knife as to start off my tweet. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to look for something a little bit more interesting because they have different brilliant designs here, like this scissors perfect for cutting straight lines. Pretty cool. An axe that with a twist that revolutionizes wood chopping. That's interesting. How about this? With legs, this cup won't tip over. That's a pretty interesting design. Or what about this? The world's first one-handed zipper. Or a toothpaste tube that gets every last bit out. I'm looking over here. Let's see. Oh my God, look at that door. That's pretty cool. But I'm going to share this one here. This legs, this cup won't tip over. Let me see here. I want to see if we could use it for coffee. Okay. Well, anyway. So this was designed by an 11-year-old elementary school student from Chicago. Okay, and she designed this cup to make life easier for her grandfather who struggles to grip objects due to Parkinson's disease. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tweet this. Okay, tweet. The tweet button. All right, and this box pops up, and I'm going to change this Best Butter Knife and 9 Other Brilliant Designs. And what I noticed here, the cool thing is that you can still scroll down and look at the information that you want to write about. So I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to say here 3 legs that will sustain your favorite beverage. Okay, I'm going to sign in. Okay, so as you can see here, I didn't tweet the headline. I just made something cute. I think it's cute, and I'm going to tweet it. And it's been posted. So now I've just tweeted that article, and I didn't just tweet a headline and link. I just changed it up. Here's another cool thing you do on Twitter. Understand how to use the @ symbol. Okay. Now, what the person talks here is that when you reply back to another person on Twitter, if you only do that, you're only tweeting the people who follow you, and that only the people who follow you and follow that person. Those are the only ones who will see your tweet. But if you mix it up and you add another symbol so that everybody else can, so that everybody else can see your tweet, you should put a period. So he said here, start your tweet with another symbol in order for everyone you follow and everyone else also follows that person. I'm sorry, let's go back. So if you hit the reply button and you just respond using that person's handle, only people who follow you and follow that person will see your tweet in their feeds. In order for everyone you follow and everyone else who also follows that person, start your tweet with another symbol. Okay, so what he did here, he put a period because he wanted all parties and their followers to see the message. So he started the tweet with a period so that everybody else can see it, okay? Another thing, I'm not going to share all 10, but I will leave the link below, is to remember quality and not quantity. So don't vomit on your Twitter feed. Make sure the content that you're providing is quality content. I always like to give content that is useful, like how-to articles or things on productivity or things on growing your business or things on, you know, or even cute little things like these great inventions that serve as inspiration. So, you know, don't worry about trying to be the person who posts the most tweets. Remember, it's better to post quality content and not quantity, and you will still get followers. You also need to be patient, okay? So it takes time to build a following. So start retweeting quality content, reply and favorite other people's tweets. Remember to tweet content that is valuable, okay? This reminds me, this just, you know, I have people who are starting to follow me. I mean, I'm not huge on Twitter, but I'm starting to build a following. And one of the followers that I got, I looked at his feed, but I was not very impressed with his feed. And I saw where he was like, well, why doesn't anybody follow me? I'm retweeting and I'm following other people. And the reason why is because he's not tweeting valuable content. He's just like retweeting what he thinks. He thinks that it you know, will be part of his, that will add, I don't know what he's thinking, what value is, but he's not retweeting valuable content, in my humble opinion. And he's not adding content. He's just retweeting and following and retweeting and following. He's not putting his own content. So that's why he's not getting followers, or he's not getting a lot of followers as he would like. So you got to tweet valuable content, and you also got to be patient to build a following. Be engaged, okay? And that is to pay attention to what other people are tweeting and to the people who retweet and reply to your own tweets. So retweet, return favors, respond when people ask you questions, start networking. That is important on being Twitter. That's important to grow your Twitter feed and your Twitter following. Avoid the dead zone, so know when your followers are on Twitter, the best times to tweet high quality content and to engage. You can also monitor Twitter's data so you can be more successful on Twitter. Get creative with picture and video, so you don't have to be only tweeting words. You can tweet pictures and videos and make your feed more engaging. There's Twitter's Vine to create short 6-second videos. Well, that's pretty cool. Like Instagram, you have 15 seconds, but Twitter's Vine, that's a great challenge to challenge yourself to grow a little bit more, is to create a short 6-second video. Well, I'm going to try that myself. And you can also mute people. So like if there's a tweet that's going viral and you would rather not be a part of that, you don't have to delete them. You could just mute them. There's a mute button, and then mute them. A mute button that allows you to stop someone's tweet from showing up in your timeline until you unmute him or her. Pretty simple, very convenient. So these are 10 steps for mastering Twitter. All right, awesome sauce. So we've come to the end of our Hangout. If you enjoyed the content that I shared with you today, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so that you are updated on when I keep posting these great Hangouts. Thanks for stopping by on Rise and Shine, Ready or Not, Let's Do This. My name is Mina, coming to you from New York City, out in the borough of Queens. You can also connect with me on my blog, and I will leave that information below. I will see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have an amazing Thursday, folks. Cheers. Bye.